All right, let's jump right into today's explainer. Picture this. You're the company director and you're holding the keys to a single, highly contested promotion. It's totally up to you to decide who gets it. We're going to put your critical thinking and decision-making skills to the ultimate test today. Imagine standing in your office, looking out at your team, knowing you hold the power to completely change someone's career trajectory. It's a heavy responsibility and you absolutely have to get it right. So you've got two employees, Bill and Bob, and both of them firmly believe they deserve this step up. You've got to make a definitive choice by the end of our time today. But be careful, because most people make the absolute wrong decision here by judging way too quickly. We're going to evaluate the evidence step by step, exactly like a true director would. Section 1. Candidate Profile. Bill. Let's crack open the first HR dossier and look at the foundation of Bill's career. He's been with the company for 8 solid years. His performance reviews paint this picture of a highly dependable, hardworking guy. In fact, his attendance record is pristine. He has literally never been late, not even once. However, nobody's perfect. Some colleagues have noted that Bill is kind of quiet, and he isn't exactly the best at commanding a room or leading meetings. Now, when you sit down with Bill, he makes his case pretty plainly. He firmly believes that promotions should be the natural reward for experience and unwavering consistency. In his eyes, loyalty and just putting in the time should be the ultimate deciding factors for career advancement. Section 2. Candidate Profile. Bob. Moving on to our second dossier, Bob's profile is basically night and day compared to Bill's. He joined the company only 3 years ago, but wow, he has certainly made waves. Bob is a super confident speaker, and he's frequently mentioned by name in glowing customer feedback. He's also introduced several new ideas that actively increase sales. But there are some cracks in his profile, too. Bob focuses heavily on results over teamwork, and unlike Bill, he's actually been late to work 5 times this year alone. Bob's philosophy on advancement? Totally different from Bill's. He argues to you that impact and dramatic results are literally the only metrics that should matter for this promotion. To him, moving the needle financially is the whole shebang. That's what makes someone worthy of a title bump. Section 3. New evidence. Okay, so both candidates have made their initial cases, but as a critical thinker, you know you need more data. HR pulls a comprehensive report that brilliantly illustrates the day-to-day reality of their work. Look at this. Bill completed every single assigned project. None were late, none exceeded the budget. It's a flawless execution rate. Bob, on the other hand, actually completed fewer projects overall. But wait, here's where it gets really interesting. Let's look at the context of those fewer projects. The ones Bob did manage to finish, they generated 3 times more profit for the company. He might have done less sheer volume of work, but man, the financial return was massive. And this leaves you facing a really difficult, very real dilemma that leaders deal with every single day. Do you reward Bill's flawless reliability and perfect execution, or do you reward Bob's massive financial impact, even with his inconsistent habits? It's a tough call, and honestly, the decision isn't fully made yet. Section 4. Final evidence. Just before your final decision meeting ends, the HR director slides one last folder across your desk. And it contains a number that changes the entire complexion of the review. 5. Over the last year, Bill voluntarily mentored 5 new employees. And, impressively, 4 of those 5 employees later grew to become top performers themselves. Bill didn't just put his head down and do his own work. He actively elevated the people around him. So, naturally, HR checked Bob's record for similar initiatives. Guess what? Bob never participated in mentoring. 0. When HR asked him why he chose not to help train the new hires, Bob just plainly stated that his priority was solely his own individual work. His focus was entirely inward. So it all comes down to weighing these two full profiles against one another. On one side, we have Bill, bringing immense experience, rock-solid reliability, consistency, and a proven track record of mentorship. On the other side, Bob brings flashy innovation, undeniably higher profits, strong presentation skills, and great customer recognition. Neither guy is perfect, right? They both have very clear strengths. All right, you now have every single piece of evidence. No more information is coming your way. I want you to take a second and decide right now based strictly on the facts we just went through. Tick, tick, tick. Who's it going to be? Bill or Bob? If you're struggling with this, it might just be because you forgot the actual nature of the job. The entire paradigm shifts when you realize the company isn't trying to choose the best salesperson, they're choosing a future leader. This promotion is for team leader, not top performer. And because of that, the promotion absolutely must go to Bill. Leadership isn't just about personal, individual performance. A true leader creates success in others long after their own work is done for the day. Bill's consistency, his ability to hit every deadline and budget, and most importantly, his proven success in mentoring new employees make him the crystal clear choice for this specific role. Bob created excellent results for sure, but his focus was strictly on his own individual achievement.
Section 5. The Psychological Trap.
Look, if you got this wrong, you're definitely not alone. If you initially chose Bob, you probably fell victim to a really common cognitive bias known as the halo effect. This happens when one incredibly impressive quality, like Bob generating 3 times the profit, shines so brightly that it literally blinds us to other highly relevant facts. His high sales created this halo that made it super easy to completely overlook his poor teamwork, his consistent lateness, and his absolute refusal to help his peers. This is why critical thinkers rigorously train themselves to evaluate all relevant evidence, refusing to be distracted by a single impressive metric. When you're making important choices, you gotta stop asking the reflexive question, who impressed me the most? Being impressed is just an emotion, and frankly, it is way too easily manipulated by flashy results. Instead, you need to ask a much more objective question. Which decision is best supported by the evidence? It shifts your brain right out of that emotional reaction and into an analytical one. By adopting this one simple habit, you can drastically improve your decision-making in business, in leadership, and honestly just in your everyday life. You stop looking for the right answer, and you start understanding why it's the right answer. If today's explainer made you stop and think, you've already taken a massive step toward becoming a better critical thinker. To keep sharpening those skills, make sure you subscribe to Question Your Mind daily. One question every day. I'll see you tomorrow with another case that'll totally challenge the way you look at the world. Until then, ask yourself, what other halos might be blinding you in your own life right now?